Welcome to Spot Hidden. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is London Carlisle. I am your game master, keeper of arcane lore, and you are here because you want to see something very spooky, something very creepy, something horrific even. And you've come to the right place. So, welcome. I shall introduce my wonderful players and best friends, and we will get started with tonight's investigation. Awesome. Well, welcome. And please introduce yourselves, everyone. We're going to start with Carly. Introduce yourself. Who are you playing? We'll go around the horn here.
I am Carly, and I'm playing Maerwynn Tash, the minstrel that's not good at anything that's not talking.
And I, Matt Stephenson, am Daniel Smithson of Totburh.
Hey
Yeah.
everybody, I'm Hudson Hubbard. I play Bricius of the Black Kidden Hills.
Boom! We have the
It
squad
is.
here. Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining me. All of you at home, this is episode 4 of Spot Hidden. So we're jumping right into the fray here. But before we get started, we just want to give a few special shout outs. And Matt, you're going to deliver our first shout out to our first wonderful sponsor.
Of course, Chaosium, the one and only. I like to rep their starter set back here. It's a wonderful product from them. Like many of their other wonderful products that I highly recommend you check out at chaosium.com. Link in bio.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, so our second sponsor for tonight is Tabletop Games. Now, Tabletop Games is making it easier than ever to play your favorite role-playing games whenever you like. You can play games like Call of Cthulhu, D&D, all online with on-demand actor and author game masters. Like me. Yes, that's right. I'm running a couple drop-in Call of Cthulhu investigations on the 6th and the 20th at Tabletop Games, and new players are always welcome. So, our viewers, I'm going to let y'all in on a secret. If y'all use the coupon code SPOTHIDDEN, you're going to save $10 at Tabletop Games, and that applies for all of their games, so you can play with me or any of the other great game masters there. But link in description, and, join the party. It's going to be a great time. One more special shout out. I would like to give a shout out to Mayday Roleplay. This awesome just podcasting company who are doing some great Delta Green roleplay. So all of you check them out as well. Fantastic. Me and Carly are obsessed. Carly, do you need to say anything about Mayday, please?
I'm so obsessed with it. I did not expect it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, like it just came out of the ether here, and it's like this wonderful show. Very engaging, high production value, and just great story and well fleshed out characters. So
Yeah.
bravo to them as well. All right.
Hey, London,
Yo, what's up?
can you sum up Delta Green in 5 words?
Delta Green. It started off, I believe, as a setting for Call of Cthulhu, but it's its own.
So many more than 5.
I lost count.
Failure.
That was over 5 words. That's okay.
Failure. Also subscribe for the wonderful emotes, including the Hudson failure emote. Thank you for that. But yeah, Delta Green, 5 words. How do I do this? Wait, I'm gonna do it. Okay. Got it. X-Files meets the Mythos.
Hey, there you go.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Mayday said in the chat, X-Files meets True Detective, so that works too.
Oh, really?
Wow,
I
look
should
at
have.
this.
Both are perfect.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sorry.
That's the same train of thought.
Hey, great minds think alike. Awesome. Okay, is there anything else that I'm missing here before we get started?
Let's do this. I put this down.
Let's do this. All right. So, we are going back to Totburh in episode 4 of Spot Hidden. When we last met our investigators, they had just defeated this mighty beast that had been residing within Totburh for some time. The serpent people had infiltrated the burh. Delwyn, the lowly leech of the village, had secretly been this creature from the beyond. But thanks to our investigators, they foiled his plans, and now the entire village knows about these creatures living among them. Now, it's brought a certain level of fear, a certain level of suspicion. No one quite knows who to trust around them. Pretty much the entire place was gathered in Oswin's hall, looking upon this giant reptilian figure laying dead on the floor, dead by the hands of our heroes. Again, they saved the day. But how much longer would this last? How much more could they save? What could they foresee? Especially in a world when they don't know who to trust. Now, they've met a lot of people, but who else is not who they seem? But first, let's start with a new day. The sun always rises above the Anglo-Saxon landscape there. And I just want to first just go around and get a little taste of what our investigators do when they're not fighting these eldritch beings. What is a typical day for Maerwynn?
Maerwynn is usually just kind of hanging out around the Thanes. I can't think of the compound, I guess.
Mhm.
Just kind of visiting with everyone there, just kind of strumming her little songs, trying to see if she can think of any ideas for anything to write. Just kind of not doing a whole lot. I feel like these days, though, she's doing more, talking to people, seeing if they know any strange things that have happened, like any strange stories they've heard, just trying to gather as much information as she can about all these weird things that have been happening.
Okay, great. And so in that, you spy upon he's about 30 years old, I would say. His name is Hothier. He comes from St. Swithin's monastery, which is outside of Totburh. But basically, him and a small company of priests come every once in a while to give religious guidance to Totburh. They mainly center around the churches that dot the village there. But they have concentrated on Oswin's Hall because of the incident with the serpent person there. There's lots of fear, and they are, giving their guidance on how to make this better. So, being in Oswin's Hall, you have a first-hand view of this. Just this tall figure, very square jawline, but with the traditional haircut and the bald top and robes of someone at the monastery, giving guidance and reassurance to Oswin, a person who has always been very strong, very steadfast. But he seems weary. Rightfully so. A person that he has trusted for a decade at least was not who they portrayed themselves to be. So this is what you see. Daniel, what is your off day like?
Daniel wakes up early to let Yuraku out while he watches the sunrise over his small homestead with a nice splitting station over to the right side of his door. He double checks any orders by the Thane to deliver timber, to maybe bring timber to the ground, so to speak. And if not, he goes into town to check in, grabs any sort of necessities he might need, and he returns back to a pleasant and quiet homestead.
Yes. So as you can see on the map, Totburh has, a pretty substantial market there. So that's where Daniel, I, presume, goes to do his trading, goes to, get the things that he needs there. And it's a quiet day at the market. You pass by the people selling their produce, the people selling the fruit of the fields, if you will. The man's selling new pottery that he has. If you remember last time, he running around smashing his old pottery. So he's still there. He has a new crop, and as he sees, Big Daniel kind of pass by, just kind of gathers his things and covers them to protect his wares and to protect his livelihood as well. Now, there's a new person in town, and that is Bricius of the Black Killing Hills. What does Bricius do in Totburh on a day when he is not, slaying another beast?
Bricius, on his off time, is usually hunting deer or wild boar in the woods.
Okay. Yes, yes. So, how lucky are you today? Let's see that. Give us a luck roll to see
Perfect.
how you fared on this particular day.
A success, 35 versus 69.
Nice.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, yes. So you're very successful. You're very skilled with not only with your sword but with a bow. You're able to find a very nicely sized deer that you bring into the settlement. Now, with that, you're gaining status. You're gaining popularity as someone who's not only good at, tracking down threats, but also tracking down and securing resources. So maybe you even pass Daniel at the market there. Now, this is a full day. We have, the courtly business. We have Iraku and your lumber work. We have hunting. This takes up a full day. But the sun rises, it sets, it rises, it sets. And this day is like no other in that regard. The sun rises, you do your work, and as the sun sets, you retire. Now, you're not the only people doing work here. I mentioned Hothier earlier from the monastery. Um, they leave horseback at dawn on the next morning there. But night falls again, and I want all of you to give me spot hidden rolls.
I sure do like the sound of that.
I wonder why.
I feel like you've written it in where that's always going to be our first roll.
And I'm okay with that. I am perfectly
I
fine
really
with
should, like.
Oh, because I'm not clicking the right thing.
Ah,
Failure.
Oh,
we
God.
all failed. We all failed. How about that? Sum it up.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now describe your nights, please. We're going to start with Bricius.
Bricius goes to the nearest tavern to have a hearty stout.
Okay, yeah, so you're able to, get a nice drink. There's not really a full-fledged tavern anywhere, but there is a home where people gather. Because of your status that I mentioned earlier, people have kind of invited you in and listening to your tales from elsewhere. There is a little boy there whose eyes are wide as he looks upon the sword that you have at your hip there, and he looks at you and he just says, Bricius, tell us about your travels, please. Tell us that story again, for the one from yesterday.
Well, lad, in Egypt, I came upon in Memphis the same men that we saw weeks earlier, the serpent men. There was one day I was out in the Dune Sea in Memphis, and on the horizon I saw this man coming towards me, but he was no man. He was a serpent man.
Oh,
He challenged me to a duel, and I fought him, and he fought valiantly and bravely. But I laid him low to the ground and finished him.
yes! And he gets so excited at this feat of bravery that you describe. Across the room, his parents are there. You can see his father, a very stern-faced man, long hair, a big beard there on his face. Kind of pull his wife closer as he just eyes you, looking down at the ground. Not necessarily disapprovingly, but there's a hint of fear there. But he hears something. Give me a listen roll, Bricius. Let's see if you hear it too.
Failure.
Okay, great.
73 versus 25.
So you're entertaining the children there, and this man kind of pats his wife on the shoulder, turns his head and goes towards his door, swings it open, and you can see him looking out into the distance. How does Daniel spend his night in Totburh? He hasn't headed out yet, but kind of how do you wrap up there before you head back to your place right outside of the walls?
Well, Daniel is no stranger to a beverage, an adult beverage, every now and then, and and this particular night, he has a trusted friend in Bricius, and he pops by the same local house that is well known, and he assumes no one is in particular to him visiting.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you give me a listen roll too.
Of course.
And I'll take a look at the result of that. But we're gonna jump to Maerwynn. Maerwynn, how does your day end?
She probably. Sorry, I had my mic muted because dog is screaming.
Elliot.
She just listens to She listens
Get 'em,
to
Elliot.
the things hounds just bark all night at nothing. She's just kind of does her rounds, just visiting with everyone. Be quiet. And just she probably goes and sees one of the soldiers. Erdwulf is his name. She just kind of visits with him for a little bit and then just goes about her business for the rest of the night.
Okay, cool. Oh, so she's hanging out with the soldier.
Yeah.
What's the relationship there? Just like a
It's kind of like a flirtatious little thing. It's nothing serious. They just kind of. Sorry.
Don't apologize. You're fantastic.
We love Elliot.
So he stands there in conversation with you. He even has his spear at the ready for some reason. I don't know. He just has it there, just trying to look big and broad and trying to really set himself up there. And he engages you in conversation before seeing his brethren going off. Now, what that husband spied in the distance was this pyre being lit. Now, outside of the walls, there's this big structure on a hill, but it's only lit when a longship is spotted on the river next to Totburh.
Right.
Yes.
I know
So
exactly where this is going.
it seemed that now this place has a Viking problem, and it seems at this time that no one has quite prepared for it. You notice that pyre too late as this longship makes its way. If you look on your map, it's already in here, right? At this point in time. But within the next, few moments, Totburh is in a frenzy. There's a small raiding party that makes its way over that wall. Ladders are kind of plopped there up against it as they scale it and jump over. Men in these helmets and this nice armor and axes and swords jump and leap over that wall, landing down with a thud on the ground. Running through, there is fire in their hands. Basically, they're making their way, if you can imagine, from over here, from this wall, which is on the west side of Totburh, to the east side, over here towards the market. It's not a pretty sight. These men are out for blood. If anyone gets in their way, there are fists, there are blades, there are broken bones, there is blood. And that husband that answered the door there, he's not exempt from it. As you see his nose just like, bashed in with a hard, gloved fist there in front of you. Now, who do you have together? Bricius and Daniel. You're together. As you see two of these raiders standing in the doorway, looking in, spying the woman and the children. And then their eyes go to you. What would you like to do?
It's a good thing you carry that sword around, Bricius.
I know. And I take out my throwing axe and throw it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So now we're in combat. Awesome. So let me see the dex order here. In Call of Cthulhu, we don't really roll for initiative. We just go by the dex order of the combatants. For you at home. So let's see here. Bricius, you are dexier than Daniel. Let's see where this Viking falls in all of this. Okay. All right. Yes. So he'll go after you, Bricius. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, give me that throw roll.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Okay. Yes.
Failure.
Yes.
81 versus 40.
As that axe spins and just goes right between them there, as you see this maliciousness in their eyes and their smiles as they come in. One bearing a sword, one bearing that traditional axe. And then the one with the sword comes square
That's
at
what
you.
too much ale will do to you, Bricius.
I know.
You've been having a little too much. And of course, you can dodge this, counterattack this if you would like to roll one of those. You would have to get a higher success than whatever I roll in order to, take that, if you would like. But no pressure. As the Viking with the sword comes in straight at you, Bricius.
A dodge.
Okay, give me a dodge roll.
Oh.
Boom. Okay.
Fail.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Night is not my night.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, as you come in, you're trying to dodge out of the way, but this sword is too quick for yours. As he kind of comes in from kind of a diagonal cut through your abdomen. But you do have some armor. So do you take any armor away from any sort of armor damage away from that?
Let me roll.
Okay. And what are you rolling?
1d6.
Fantastic.
So I guess I subtract 1.
Okay, yeah. So you do take 8 damage.
All right.
As he, slices into you. And then there's the other Viking who has the axe, and he's coming at Daniel. He sees that you are the only way to get in to cause more havoc in this place. So as he comes in, he runs in with the axe high above his head. Ah! He screams as he comes in and brings it down upon you with a hard success of 10 damage.
Yeah, let's go for a dodge there.
Okay. Great. It would have to be an extreme success.
Failure. Ooh. Yeah.
And you do, yeah. So it comes. You can feel the force. This man's full force comes down upon you. And Daniel is not a small guy, but this guy, he's been in ye old gym. I tell you that. All right, cool. So Daniel, it's your turn.
All right. So as I do some quick maths here, I'm going to go ahead and retaliate almost immediately with my axe because Daniel Smithson's axe is much better. And that is maybe not quite as well this time. But that is a 41 versus 70 success.
Okay, cool. How do you hit him? Give me a little mental image here.
Well, we're kind of taking an axe right to the side there. I'm not a small man, like you said, and kind of struck back from it and immediately brings ours out, as it's always handy. And we come in almost at a diagonal right swing there.
Okay, yeah, and you can hear like that the bone in that arm crack as you come in, like a baseball bat with it. Bah! And you do some good damage there. We're gonna jump over to Maerwynn. Your companion has gone off and is fighting these raiders. Now, basically, everybody's taking up arms. You see all the the lowly farmers, the churls. You see the kids, the women. They're taking whatever they can just to defend themselves. Some are running inside. Some are going at these people and just defending what they have. And you see this raider coming directly for the Thane's compound where you were. Now your companion has run off and is fighting some more of these people. You don't know quite how many have come into Totburh, but there is one for sure coming directly at you. Maerwynn, what do you do?
She's just gonna say, "Oh God, damn it," and then just take off running towards him. Just
Oh, wow.
dagger out. Just
Yeah,
try.
yeah. And what's your dexterity?
It is 70.
Boom. You go
Yeah.
first. You have first opportunity here. All right.
God. I just want everyone to know that Blooded has told me all week, you're going to have to fight at some point.
Pulp Cthulhu, baby. Pulp
Yeah.
Cthulhu. Hype.
Well, that's a 64 versus 40 failure.
Hey, well, that's okay. But yeah, you come in. It's dark, so you kind of come in, but he moves out of the way as he also has. Let's see what he has here. I believe he has. What is he attacking you with? That's important information. Oh yeah, so he's attacking you with an axe. He has like one hand axe as he tries to come back
Great.
at you. Sees that sword, moves out of the way, and in that same movement comes in with the axe.
And misses.
And misses. He
Hey.
even kind of trips
Oh,
over his
hallelujah.
feet. It's dark, but he kind of rolls over on the ground, rolls over his shoulder, and pops back up with that axe, eyeing you.
We're back at full hit points, right?
Yeah, from last session,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
It's been a couple.
I never
It's
changed
been a while. Okay.
Because I was about to say,
I
I'm dead.
figured. But...
I, Bricius, am dead.
Logging off.
All right, yeah. So now you were just locked, eye to eye, almost circling here. You can see just like the dark hair that hangs from under his helmet. It's light colored hair, but it's just darkened by the mud that this person presumably crawled in to get the jump on Totburh here. His clothes are muddy, his armor and his fingers are just stained with blood still dripping down from the last kill. And it's your turn again, Maerwynn.
Okay. She's just gonna kind of... She's not a great fighter. Like, we've kind of established this. So she's doesn't know these tactics and everything, but she's gonna try her best to kind of like feint one way and then go for the other, trying to catch him off guard, maybe.
Okay, all right, yeah. A little switcheroo, a little
swipe thing.
crossover. Okay, roll that for us.
That is a critical success, 1 versus 40.
Boom! Oh,
Oh my god.
KO.
Yeah.
extreme damage here. Yo, listen, this is what Maerwynn does. As you try to do that crossover, like, you're trying to make him think you're coming from this way, but you're coming from this way. And in an effort to dodge from that way, with all the force in his body, he goes directly into your dagger, straight jugular. At first, and you can feel every part of this. At first, you can feel the resistance of the tip of your blade against the skin, but then it gives. It breaks, and you can feel yourself slicing directly through blood.
You just broke that man's ankles.
Yep. Broke his entire spirit.
Hey, he is a spirit.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to that guy. Hall of Fame. We're clicking that. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the first successful attack I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you just gotta go for it. Shakespeare says, "Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt."
Great theater major.
Back to Bricius and Daniel. All right. We're going back to y'all. Okay, now Bricius. You threw your axe. It's outside. This guy came in. Ha! Daniel, you were engaged in combat with this other guy. Damage both ways. It's your turn, Bricius.
Where is Daniel and this other guy? Like how close are they to me?
They're pretty close. So you're closer to the door than Daniel is. Now, but Daniel is between the door and the family that is in this place.
Okay. And what about the Viking raider that I threw my axe at? Where is he in the room?
Basically directly in front of you here.
Okay.
Because he came in, then attacked.
All right, perfect. I will take Excalibur,
Yeah.
and I'm going for a strike. There we go. A success, 38 versus 60
Okay. Ooh.
with 6 damage.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Great. Yeah. So you come in with Excalibur. Wow. It's a forceful hit. You're better with this than the axe. In this regard. But yeah. So he's coming back in again with his sword. He's gonna try to kind of come through. Let's see if you can, parry that with Excalibur there. Okay. Sword.
So he's striking me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm dodging.
Okay, yeah, but he failed. So as he kind of comes in, he meets Excalibur, and it's a small struggle there as he kind of comes back and gives way in order to, recalculate, regroup. Next up is the Axeman, not to be confused with the X-Men, starring Hugh Jackman.
We're basically the same person. So anyway,
what am I saying? Oh my goodness, Daniel.
Oof.
So
Daniel.
he just rolled a success. 32 versus 60. 10 damage to Daniel.
Ah. Daniel's not looking too hot.
Ooh. Okay, where are you?
All right.
Where are you HP wise, Daniel?
Daniel is at 12 out of 32 hit points.
Okay, fantastic. But now it is your turn.
Aye. Well, we just took quite the blow. But as well, actually, something that Daniel learned the last fight around, and something he does not mind doing, he would like to go for a sweep of the feet and bring this Viking to the ground.
Ooh, okay.
What is he rolling for that?
Sweep the feet, Johnny.
Is that going to be?
Let's see here. If you're trying to sweep, I'm gonna say that's still in the brawl category.
Well, they 51 versus 45 failure. No.
Okay. It does not work as you go down to try to, kind of knock him off guard, but really you just kind of kick him really hard. But it doesn't take him down. But I'm gonna say it does stumble him. He will be at disadvantage just from this stumbling that he's taken on the next roll here. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go back to Bricius.
Oh. So I guess Daniel is in some trouble. I would like to take the Viking that I'm fighting with, grab him, and throw him into the other Viking that is fighting Daniel.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, okay, that's fun. Let's give me a strength roll.
Strength?
Yeah.
Strength? So I believe that's how you would say it.
Strumph.
Strength.
Oh, that's a failure. 73 versus 55.
Okay. All right, yeah, you basically just, give him a good shove. It doesn't throw him into the other Viking, but it gives him a good shove.
Okay.
Yeah, he's off his guard now, or off his game, I should say. So I'm gonna roll twice here. He has to take the lowest one. He's at disadvantage. Both of them will be at disadvantage. He fails. Ignore that last sword roll. The Axeman. He also fails on this. So now it's around to you again, Daniel. And that was very lucky because the original roll for that was like a hard success. So
I know, and I also dodged while you're doing that and made a hard success. So either way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, is it on Daniel?
Mhm.
I see where your head's at, Bricius, and I'd like to grab the Viking I'm dueling with and grab him by the throat and chuck him towards Bricius's enemy there.
Okay.
It is a hard success with strength.
Yes.
Ooh.
There we go.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So Daniel basically picks this guy up like Carly picking up Elliot and just
Hold on, I'll give you a visual.
Okay,
Just-
yes, please
There he
please
is.
show them.
I thought she was actually gonna throw the dog, and I was
I
like,
was like,
"No!"
no, don't throw Elliot.
He doesn't know where he's at.
Oh my gosh.
Neither does this Viking. The Viking, because at one moment he's over here, and the other moment he's over here. Woo! As he crashes into the other guy, even kind of goes. Which one did you throw, Daniel?
The one I'm dueling with.
Okay, yeah.
Axeman, yeah.
Even goes onto the other guy's sword.
Ooh.
So let me see what that does. Okay, fantastic. All right, great. We're gonna go back to Maerwynn. Maerwynn, basically, you're running to see, what kind of shelter you can find. One of the most safe places around is one of the churches that is near the compound there. There's a manorial church that sits right in the Thane's compound. That's the closest place for you. But as you're nearing that, you see this Viking, torch in hand, coming directly for that church, aiming to set it ablaze. What do you do?
I can't really throw a dagger, can I?
If you want to.
I mean, I want to try that.
How's your
hold
throw?
on.
How's your throw?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me look at this real quick and see. My throw is not good. I'm gonna rush him. Because I'm assuming there are other people that are taking shelter in that church.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
and
I
you do
wanna-
that.
Just kind of I'm not gonna rush him. I'm just gonna stand there and I'm just gonna kind of go towards him, but like yell and get his attention, like try to kind of pull him away from the church and distract him for a split second, if I can. Just try to buy any time I can.
Okay. And how would you like to do that?
I'm just gonna just yell, "Hey!" I guess. I don't really know.
Okay. Fantastic. Let's see,
Yeah.
let's give me a power roll. So this will be, your personality there.
Okay. It's 54 versus 60 success.
Okay, yeah. So you yell that, and this guy's come in and he sees you over there. And he kind of puts the torch down, and puts his hand on his axe that is in his belt there, and kind of comes after you. And what do you do now?
Now I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Are you gonna engage him? Or are you getting out of there? What's going on?
I'm gonna fucking engage him. She's got an adrenaline rush at this point.
Oh my goodness. Okay, bloodthirsty Maerwynn. Okay.
She doesn't know what else to do. She's kind of panicking. Like,
okay, give me an attack roll if you're
Yeah.
if you're coming at him like that.
it's not gonna. Oh, I clicked it.
We
Hello?
love to see it. We love to see it.
Is it rolling for y'all?
Um,
It'd be funny if it was a critical success again.
I'm clicking it and it's not doing anything.
Oh no. We're trying to reopen it, Maerwynn.
Low-key just actually started listening. All I've heard is Viking, and that's all I need to stay invested. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love,
Like that.
love your character,
Yeah,
by the way. In Delta Green, wonderful.
I can't get this to roll, so I'm just gonna roll a base D100.
Do
It
it.
says rolling the dice.
Okay,
It's not.
let's see.
I might have to relaunch roll 20.
Here, I can try to see if I can do it for you here. Just
Okay.
quickly.
My dagger
Maerwynn
is 40. And it
Rolled the
has
dice and they
1d6.
stayed in the air. They never
Oh.
even hit the table.
I did it like 7 times. Oh, I'm so sorry.
She just
Oh,
keeps swinging.
dear.
That's like...
That's so
One
many
that you
rolls.
like.
Yeah, that's a lot.
The majority were successes.
Let's take since you were outnumbered with the successes. Let's take
Okay.
the first successes you made there.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, yeah. And how do you want to attack him since you're coming at him there? That's for 6 damage to him.
I'm just gonna kind of run and just kind of slash as I run up, just not really knowing what to do. I know a dagger's not normally for slashing, but she
Okay.
doesn't. So
Okay, yeah. So you kind of run towards him, you slash as you move past. The Viking just kind of like stumbles as he's shocked at first. He doesn't really know exactly where you hit him, but after a few seconds, he can feel it as he turns around and strives to throw that axe with the strength that he has at you. So let me roll that here. D100. 28. Let's see here. That barely fails.
Oh god.
That barely fails. As his weapon soars past you, Maerwynn. Are you coming back at him?
Yes.
Okay. I need artwork of this. Okay.
I know, this is a terrible idea. Genuinely though, like, I feel like I need to justify this. She doesn't know what else to do. She's never been in this situation. Everyone else is fighting, so she might as well fight too.
It's a tough situation. Basically all you know, and as you look around, you kind of gather this. All you really know is burning. You can smell the smoke in your air. In the air. The ground is kind of slippery just from the grass being torn up from the feet of people running away. Everywhere around you, you can hear, screams and shouts of rage and shouts of fear. So it's a lot to take in. So right now, if fight or flight is kicked in, basically.
Yeah.
If that helps you at all.
Yeah, like that's kind of where I was getting at too. Like, she doesn't think there's anywhere to run, so she might as well fight.
Got you.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. But it wore off. 54 or 53 versus 40.
Okay. Got that down. We're gonna jump back to the little ale house there. The guy's on the ground, impaled by the sword. And the one Viking has to take a minute to kind of roll the guy off of his sword, as the husband with the bastion nose, you can see his lips and beard are just like black with the blood that is dripped down as he comes in and tries to take a hit. He doesn't have any weapon on him, but he comes in with a fist down on that Viking. Doesn't make it. As he's dizzy, he's weak, and he can't really see, and basically just punches at the air. But now it is Bricius' turn to come back in.
So is the Viking still on the ground?
He's getting up. He's getting up. Time, yeah.
I'm going for the head.
Take your trophy, Bricius.
Ah, yes. A hard success. 29 versus 60, a damage of 6.
And with that damage, you decapitate him.
Yes.
The head rolls off. Blood momentarily starts, shooting out as the body kind of stumbles and falls back to the ground where it once lay. The family, their eyes are just wide and full of fear and disgust. Some shield their eyes. Some are weeping. The little boy that you were speaking with, he's just like, he thinks it's cool for some reason. That guy, watch out for that kid.
Yeah. That kid's bad news.
Honestly, returning episode. It's episode 500 right there.
He is a serpent person. This little boy is a serpent person.
Jesus.
Straight from the GM. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah. So you do that basically, and all is quiet in this area. We're gonna go back to Maerwynn, as that other Viking is going to come at you again.
Yep.
Fails. He has no weapon, but he's trying to engage you, in hand-to-hand combat and kind of just, kind of grab you, but you're too quick for him. Right out of the way.
Somehow. Somehow too quick.
Maerwynn's turn.
Okay. So she's going to kind of try to take this opportunity as he's like grabbing at her to kind of duck out of the way and try to drive her dagger into his side if she can.
Ooh, okay.
37 versus 40.
4 damage. Ooh, okay.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, you're really hurting him now. You are really hurting him. He's gonna try to swing at you again with the last bit of strength that he has. The last bit of strength. Let's see. And he can't. I just rolled a 74 versus 55.
Oh my god.
As he tries to, a hand to your face, falls right past you on the ground. He's struggling. You can see him try to crawl away, try to crawl towards that torch that was on the ground, still lit, still red and still burning barely as he tries to crawl towards that. What do you want to do?
Can I just like mercy kill him at this point? Like, I don't want it to be gruesome and gory. Just end it kind of thing.
There's blood everywhere.
Yeah. I feel like she doesn't really know how to mercy kill, but
So in my head, I picture this like a movie, and I just hear your narration. She doesn't, doesn't want it to be, gory. Just wants to do a mercy kill. Cuts to Maerwynn's face, just covered in blood, like
in blood. Yeah, that's probably what it's like right now.
It's like Carrie, just like.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Sorry, the dog is getting.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. For this, just give me just a simple brawl roll if possible.
Okay. Oh no.
And I'll give you advantage since he can't really go anywhere.
Okay, so then I do the bonus dice, correct?
Yes, Maerwynn slash, straight from Mayday. Thank you.
Well, best option is 29 versus 25, so. I think that's how. I struggle with the bonus dice, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, so now that means that instead of 49, it's 29 was your second roll.
Okay, yeah.
So you could spend 4 points of luck if you want to just go ahead and take this out, or...
No, I kind of like it narratively of her not being able to do it.
Okay.
So.
Just stabs the dirt.
Okay.
Shut up. I don't want to spend my luck points.
I hear you. But, okay, but you mentioned that narratively. What's that thought process like? What is she going through there?
I feel like at this point she's had enough time to kind of come back to her senses, and she's just realizing, oh God, what did I do? What am I doing right now? And she just kind of shuts down. Kind of realizing everything's kind of caught up to her. So.
And as you kind of come down from that high there, Totburh, in the words of the Wu-Tang Clan, ain't nothing to F with. So they put up a good fight, right? And the market was, of course, raided, and it's pretty broken. There are buildings ablaze still, but the raiders are retreating back over the walls any way they can. Some are even leaving through the actual gate. They can get through there. But yes, what was that?
Can Bricius chase after one of the ones that is going through the gate?
Okay, what do you want to do to that one? You're after a fleeing man.
I want to jump on him and disarm him so we can capture him and question him.
Okay, cool. For this, give me a dexterity roll.
Okay. Yes, a success. 61 versus 70.
Okay, yeah. So Bricius leaps at this guy. He's kind of caught back by his neck and brought to the ground. There, he tries to struggle and tries to elbow you in the ribs, but with each hit, it's weaker and weaker as he's losing his breath. Bricius knows just how to get him and restrain him. But you have him. Okay.
I have him. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Who sent you?
What do you mean, who sent us?
You are the Viking raiders.
We take
right.
what we want, okay? I don't answer to you.
What other villages have you raided recently?
Your mother's.
Cool.
Very funny. Do you think you'll be laughing with my sword in your mouth?
Do what you want to me. I will always die a proud man.
You will die, but not for a long time. And I take him and bring him back into the village.
Okay. Great. All right, yeah, so basically you're able to restrain him long enough to bring him to, the semblances of justice that Totburh has there. The raid is over. After this, Daniel is able to tend to the wounded in the village. Maerwynn helps put out fires. And Bricius, you actually help reconstruct the town there. But, since you weren't able to sound the alarm there, ultimately 12 people died and 16 were severely injured. Now everybody gathers at Oswin's Hall there, including, you with this Viking raider that is restrained there. I'm kind of locked away in the corner. But Oswin addresses everybody. You all fought valiantly. I must commend you all. We were caught off guard. I'm not going to lie about it. But based on the strength of all of you, we didn't lose more people. And we did suffer some great losses. He looks around at his bodyguards there, his soldiers, his son, who's one of them, who, assisted you last time. He looks behind him at his daughter as she stands there, kind of, pointy nosed, but like a round chin and face as she looks at him. And then he looks at all of you. And of course, our heroes here, our musician, and he nods at you, Maerwynn, still blood-stained. We have been through a lot these past few weeks, and I know it's hard to really trust in each other, but please know that I trust all of you after what we have gone through here. We will not let raiders or monsters destroy our spirit. We are Totburh, and we are strong. We are a community, and we are a family. We are, and at that point in time, you kind of hear some commotion from outside. It's not a lot of commotion, but it's like a heavy breath that has, kind of followed even heavier breath coming from some sort of animal. The person that comes in is Hothier, the monk. He stumbles into the place. It's still kind of orange, as the fire still died down outside. But its robes are filthy. And he is literally on his last breath. It's like he just ran here. Obviously he's on his horse, but there's something wrong. The horse outside is lathered in sweat itself, and it's almost, convulsing with its heavy breaths. He comes in. Husband, I am so sorry for interrupting. The monastery is under attack. Some monks are dead, and many of them are injured. I can't tell you how many of them are injured, but I need your help. I raced back here for help after I could see everything, but I need your men. I need them now. Please help us. Oswin, he looks at his men. He looks at the villagers. And now it should be noted that a big number of Oswin's men have been sent after those Vikings to make sure that they didn't come back. So the men that he has here are just, few and far between. Pretty much the bear that he needs to keep Totburh, protected in case something else happened here. And he looks at Hothier. Listen, I feel pity for your monks, but I don't know if those raiders will return here or not. 2/3 of my men are hunting those Vikings. I can't send any more men out, but I must recommend these heroes here. And he points and ushers his hand to Maerwynn, Daniel, and Bricius. And Hothier looks at you. The entire, everybody that's in the hall there looks at you, basically. You have a good track record here. And Hothier falls at your feet. His head drops to the ground as he begs and pleads with you to go with him to the monastery to protect, the people that you can there. Please, please. And he looks up at you, Daniel. It is your Christian duty to help us, please.
Daniel will take him by the front of his robe or shirt and lift him to his feet and say, "Stand on your feet, man."
As
What
you
took
pull him
those
up,
monks' lives?
okay, yeah. As you pull him up, you can see again covered in mud and everything, but tears have cut through the grime on his face. From what I saw, it looks like they had been attacked with weapons, but others, they were like bleeding out of their mouths as if they'd been poisoned. But others were acting so strangely, like some were eating too much, some were arguing, others were. I need your help. The attackers have to still be nearby. I don't know what happened, but I need the aid from this town. I don't know who it is, but if anybody can help us, it's you. Please.
Have we healed at all from our last bout?
You have not. It's it's still very fresh. But Daniel would know this. I guess Maerwynn would too. Not so much Bricius. But you're learning, Bricius. You're learning the area. The monastery is probably like a 5-hour ride away. That's if you don't push it. You can get there sooner if you like really push your horses. Give me a good ride roll or something. But 5 hours is what I'll say it'll take you to get there. So you'll be able to heal some over that time, I would say. Recover your breath.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hathia, calm down. We'll help. You help bandage our wounds, and we'll make sure no more monks have to die than already have.
Yes. Okay. It sounds good. Yes. But we have to leave immediately. I will help you, and then we must leave immediately.
Aye. And Daniel would like to give a whistle just to see if Yuraku's in the area. He might be at home, so he's just going to see.
Well, let's say, okay, let's give me an animal handling roll.
Do I have that?
Is that is that D&D?
That's a D&D
No, that's
thing,
D&D.
yeah.
I was like, wait, is that a thing?
You did this last week, too.
Why do I do this?
I'll give you a natural world that was a 5 versus 70 extreme if we're rolling with natural world.
Why do I do this?
Because you just want to play D&D so bad, we know.
Yeah, we're literally playing Call of Cthulhu with swords. Yeah, like if that tells you anything. Okay. Did you? Let's see what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, extreme success. You hear
So he
that,
gives a little
and you hear the
whistle.
caw as Iraku, who is Daniel's trusty bird. And Iraku is actually a result of a pulp talent that Daniel has, so he's able to have this animal companion. Circles the Thane's compound outside, and you can hear him, so you know that he is there.
Fantastic. And summon him on down. He'll ride with us.
Okay, yeah, so you come outside, he descends, comes straight to you. All right. But, Oswin kind of follows you outside. The crowd that's inside parts, makes their way away from the door. It's eerily similar to last time when you were in this place, with the dead serpent person in the middle of the floor, everybody crowded around. Again, tragedy has struck, and people are crowded around, yes. But
Here we go.
he pushes his way through, and hangs his head low. Osmond looks a lot older than he did just a couple of weeks ago. There's all this stress now upon him. And also there's guilt. You see him whisper to some of his people. Within a couple of minutes, some fresh horses are brought to Maerwynn and to Daniel and to Hothair. Bricius still has the new horse that he gave you not too long ago there, and still a very trusty steed. But he's offering all of these horses for you to make the ride to the monastery, since he feels guilty that he can't give more men. but he wishes you all well as you mount the horses and begin to head out of town. But before you go, is there anything else that you would like to do here? Any sort of final business?
Yes, I need to make sure that I pick up my throwing axe that I threw at the Viking raider.
Okay. You gather your weapon. Daniel has his bird. Maerwynn, the bard, has her lute.
And her trauma.
Mood.
Honestly.
And they head off into the night. Head off to face the horrors at the monastery. And at that, we are going to take a break. Awesome. That was so fun. Thank you for that hour-long combat there. That was
It was good.
That was awesome.
That was rad, yeah. Okay, so everybody, we're going to take a break. Short break. We'll be back in, 10 minutes or so. Refill your drinks, grab a bite to eat, do whatever you want to do. If you're on YouTube, skip ahead.
Well, there we are.
But if you're watching live, we'll be right back. And thank you all for watching. Again, shout out to Chaosium, shout out to Tabletop. Use the code SPOTHIDDEN. And shout out to Mayday Roleplay, the best damn podcast
Mayday.
on the scene. All right.
Excellent.
Peace. Hello. What's up? We're back.
What's going on?
Hey.
I would like to give a shout out to Elliot here.
Here he is.
There he is.
Elliot is very popular because we have people watching in California who are who obviously Mayday, but also my girlfriend's aunt and uncle. They're watching, and they wanted to give a shout out to Elliot. Shout out to Sam as well for watching this. But yeah.
Look at that small entitled boy. There he is.
Yeah. I didn't put him like this. He's just like this.
Well, we really need an Elliot emote to really just make this thing official. All right. So if everybody's ready to get started, is there any questions or anything before we jump back into Cthulhu Dark Ages?
Let's rock and roll.
All right. Boom. So where we last left off, our heroes were on their way to the monastery. Hothair burst into the village, letting Oswin know that there was trouble afoot. After leaving immediately with him, it takes about 5 hours, as I mentioned, to get to the monastery. Are y'all pushing that at all, or are you good with that number there? If you would like to give me ride rolls, maybe we can tighten it up a little bit and see if you get there a little earlier, or what would you like to do?
I doubt that's gonna happen.
I can give it a shot. No. What? Never mind. Never mind.
Oh my god.
Tell the people at home what you just did, Daniel.
Okay, so Daniel rolled a ride roll, not expecting much because he has a 25 skill, and he rolled a 4 versus 25, which classifies as an extreme success. Which means apparently he's on, shoot, I've already forgotten the Ghost Rider horse over here.
Yes, you got on that horse and you drove off like you were in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Fast and Furious Totburh Drift.
Love that play.
As that horse just down the highway there. You all make it to the monastery in 3 hours, record time. You're pushing these horses. These are the best horses that the Thane has to offer. And it's the least he could do when he couldn't give any men to go protect the monastery there. But as you all near the monastery, the trees start to thin out, and I begin to show you a brand new map. Okay.
Ooh.
Let me know if y'all can see that.
Yes.
Great. So that is the
Excited.
monastery. So you start on the east side of this. The trees begin to thin out, and you hear shouting coming from directly in front of you. You begin to smell wood burning. And lastly, as you take that road up through the monastery, you see red. There's a red globe making its way through the trees, and as you break free of those trees, you can see it in all its horrific glory. As you emerge from those trees into the clearing, there are buildings on fire, left and right in front of you. These are some of the smaller support buildings of the monastery. The main church hasn't yet caught ablaze, but these side buildings are beginning to catch fire. And the entire monastery is backlit with this red haze. It's almost unnatural the way that this red haze hangs in the air and just descends and just covers the entire landscape in front of you. You see Vikings out front. You see monks out front. There's about, I'd say less than a dozen that you can make out as you're riding your way up through there. There's less than a dozen, but you see some, fighting the monks. Some are, hacking one monk to bits in front of you. But yet, as you look to your left, you see a monk, a Viking, toasting as liquid spills out, their glasses clinking together, and then drinking together, not even 20 feet away from the carnage on the other side. Others stand together, arms around each other, monk and Viking raider, watching the buildings burn. But yet, your horses have to step over bodies that are piled on top of each other, lay dead, stepping on top of bodies that are not dead, that are breathing very deeply in slumber. But this is what you see around you, this confusing mix of things. Everybody, sanity rolls.
First of all, did we heal at all? while we
Yeah.
were riding.
Yeah. Give me 1 second here. Let's see about healing. All right. Yeah. You do heal 6 points.
Oh,
I'm taking.
And nerds actually getting hit. Can't relate.
Uh-oh. I see that one coming in the future.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely gonna pay for that, but it's fun.
Oh, you know what? I think Bricius should just lose sanity point. He shouldn't even roll.
Honestly.
Lose
Yeah,
it.
he didn't even roll. Yeah.
a critical success, 5 versus 98.
For those who
Jesus.
don't know, Bricius has a 98. Oh, well, he just said it. Yeah.
It's actually a 99. I lost a point.
And
So-
if you're watching this, you're like, what? That's not possible in Call of Cthulhu. We're playing pulp rules, so he picked an archetype that has I forget the exact term for it, but you get one of your
Yes.
attributes or characteristics to be, boosted up even higher. Plus
The archetype was badass.
facing some very unfortunate circumstances, he's really good at this. But we're gonna break it. That is my mission. Please, somebody write this down. It's my mission to break it. I'm gonna break him.
To break this dog.
Eventually.
I'm gonna break him. Yes. So you ride up into here. You can see these stores to your left just ablaze, and you see this carnage around you. They're in the grass over here, the grass back here. It's all very confusing and it's all very, very strange. But you enter this clearing, and you're able to kind of hop off your horses for a second. And almost at that time, as soon as your feet hit the ground, you see someone running at you with something raised above their head and in a scream. Ah! And then you hear, Deus Vult! You look, it's a monk coming at you all with this stool leg raised above you, about to bring it down upon you. What do you do?
Can I just throw a haymaker?
If you would like to, yeah.
And knock him on his ass?
Yeah.
All right. Daniel Raises his fist and straight to the face.
Ooh.
Oh, and 97 versus 45 failed. Oh.
Oh wow, yeah. Okay, so yeah, you don't hit him. Before you're able to throw that haymaker at him, Hothair jumps right in front of him. German, no! And he grabs him and kind of like tackles him to the ground, right in front of you. Just slams into the hard grass there. But it doesn't stop him. He's still swinging the stool leg, at you, as he's on the ground and just being wrestled down by Hothair. But it's strange, as you kind of see Hothair looking back up at you and then back at German, his name was. And then he kind of stands up after he sees that he has subsided for a second. But then he gets up, swinging it wildly again, but then just runs off and takes that stool leg and just bashes a Viking in the back of the head, sending him to the ground. But Hothair looks at you all like, his face is like, WTF was that? But what he says is like,
Hang on.
he's just he just
Was he like that before we got here, Hothair?
No, he just copies things in the scriptorium. I don't know what's up with him. That is unlike him. That he does not do those things. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on here, but this, as you can see, is why I'm so confused and
What
why I
is
raced
different
back.
from when you left?
And he looks around, sees the carnage, sees the confusion, and he even looks kind of right up here. So you see this kind of little junction here before you get to like the cloister and the church here.
Aye.
Right in the middle of that, you see this Viking and this monk furiously having sex right there. And he looks at, and he points at it. That did not happen before tonight.
No.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
I mean, good for them.
Maerwynn.
I don't know. Just trying to diffuse the tension.
But beyond that, again, there's violence, there's a blaze just growing and growing and growing. And he sees these sacred buildings on fire as we have to put this out. Help me, help me. As he runs in and goes, towards the well. Do you want to assist him in this, or, what are you kind of wanting to do now that you're here?
I think this is too much. We might just need to turn around and go back to the tavern.
Oh, so southern.
I think that's just too much. We gotta go back.
That's too much.
Yeah, we need to go back to town.
We gotta go back to the tavern.
Did someone say Patty's Pub? All right.
Love how I say that as if I'm not the most southern one here.
Yo, they trained it out of me and Hudson at theater school.
Yeah.
Oh, Hudson, can you take a sip of that water bottle again?
Just because
yes,
we
I
want
can
you to stay
model it,
hydrated.
yes.
Yeah, just stay hydrated.
Ooh, spot
wow.
hitting. Okay.
Look at that.
okay.
That is a
that.
neat.
How
Okay.
That's just a neat jug you got there.
Yeah.
Yes, but as there's burning buildings around you, Hothair immediately goes to that well that's kind of in the center of this clearing here, this courtyard, if you will. Do you assist him? How do you tackle this? Do you indeed go back home and you're like, forget this? But that's the track record we have after playing The Haunting.
Bad.
It's tempting.
It's
It's tempting.
sad.
Yeah. I mean, he said help him, so.
As this is not exactly familiar territory, Daniel will follow Hothair to put out flames.
Okay. Cool. Just Daniel?
I will
I-
too.
Yes, I follow also.
Okay, yeah. So, if all of y'all are working, you're able to easily extinguish these these buildings. So it's it's just a couple trips to the well, back to the well, back, and you work together. And you didn't let these scenes, kind of harry you too much.
As we're putting out flames, Daniel would like to keep an eye out for anything that might appear not unnatural, so natural. Anyone who might be in trouble that knows they're in trouble.
Okay,
Or anything that might seem out of place. Yeah.
Okay, well, you can give me a spot hidden roll for that.
You got it. That is a 46 versus 40 failure.
Okay, yeah. So you're looking around, and you even stop for a second as you're trying to extinguish these flames. You're just looking around, trying to find any semblances of normalcy. A monk runs up to you. He doesn't have a stool, but he runs up to you. And he just he he comes in your face and he just looks at you like,
Bricius, I think they're having a moment.
We should go.
Yeah, we're gonna leave you two to have your whatever. And just slowly backs away.
and while you back away and go continue to extinguish flames, he addresses Daniel. Why? Why are you helping? Why are you putting out the flames? Why?
There's no need for fire, friend.
Well, why are you helping them? Why would you do that? You could just let it burn, or you could just let them do it. You could just go and lay down. You could go into the church, lay on one of the benches. You could do that. Why?
What do we gain from this fire, friend?
I don't know. What do we gain from anything? Just don't do anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm just hanging out.
I think you should do something.
Why?
Because it is your Christian duty.
Duty? Why? I don't need it. And he just kind of just saunters away, and you see him just stare at the wall. It's eerie the way he just stands there, doing absolutely nothing, staring at the wall.
That man is high as a kite.
All right, yeah. So after that, Maerwynn and Bricius, they are able to put out those flames pretty easily there. Now that those flames have subsided, there's still the issue of all these things going on around you, furiously. What do you want to do here?
We need to find the source of whatever's happening. I don't know what's causing this, but I know it can't be anything natural.
I agree. London, are there any cups, like mugs or glasses laying around?
Okay. There's not any sort of mugs or glasses or anything laying around. You're outside. Of course, you're able to search inside. And you've kind of gotten a good idea of how the layout of the place from putting out the fires. So, for the people at home, immediately as you come into the monastery, to your front left is like this storehouse where they keep their things. To the front right is this huge church where they hold these great Christian services. Between these two places is a big courtyard. Far to the end of that courtyard is a kitchen. Past that is a chapter house, an audience room. Behind that is a garden. Behind the kitchen is a garden. Behind where you just came from is a garden. There is all this great greenery around you. But that's not what you're looking at. Because, as I mentioned, there is this red haze that just inhabits everything. There's no cups. but beyond all this greenery is red that just hangs in the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say go ahead, Maerwynn.
I was gonna say, does the air smell weird, or does it just smell like smoke? Is pretty much all we can.
Okay, yeah. So the air, I won't ask for any rolls for this, but the air does smell like smoke. From the fires you just put out as the water quenches these flames and smoke replaces them. So there's that. But besides that, and you know that it's obviously coming from these flames, there's no other smell. And no matter how many flames you extinguish, and you and Hothier and Daniel and Bricius, you're able to extinguish them all. The red glow stays despite the flames. The flames didn't seem to be the source of that red, unnatural glow.
Did we lose any buildings?
You didn't lose any buildings. You got here so quickly. You might have lost some buildings if you showed up, I don't know, 2 hours later. But obviously you had the turbocharged horses. And yeah, so all the buildings are intact. The things that are inside of them are still intact. The Vikings that haven't, killed each other are still there. The monks that are now interloping with the Vikings are still there as well. But they're acting odd, very strangely. That goes unsaid at this point. But yeah.
Okay, Daniel would like to grab Hothier by the shoulders and almost lift him up and say, "Think, man. Do you know any idea of what the source may be here?"
I don't know. I was in town. I was in Totburh, and I was talking with the churches there, with the Thane, about your situation, about the reptile man there. I was praying for people. I was with you. I was there. I was with you. I left, came here, saw this, and immediately turned around. This has been going on since I arrived back here.
I'm not asking for events, man. Any scripts, text that you might know.
No, well,
Any references?
We have many texts, but I've never seen anything like this.
Hi. And I say it's best we split up. I would like to take the monastery and find anything that might give us some sort of hint.
Okay. Yeah. So where do you want to go in the monastery? This entire grounds is the monastery.
Oh, right, the church. Sorry, the main building.
Okay, cool. You can go in there. What does everybody else what would you all like to do?
I feel like I'm not the one that needs to search the garden. I'm just gonna go to the smaller, like, little rooms that they have, because I feel like it won't take as long to search each of those.
Okay.
So just like around the courtyards, like the chapter house and the audience room and all that stuff.
Okay, cool. Bricius, what about you?
Bricius would like to know if there's any part of the grounds that has not really been touched by the fire and the destruction.
Okay, yeah. So I'll tell you this. So the fire pretty much covered these front outside areas of the place. The fire didn't make its way back into I guess the farther eastern reaches of the monastery. It was very surface. So it appears that they were started when these Vikings showed up along the river. Started causing some trouble, and it's very surface. You got here pretty dang early. So everything is still intact as far as that goes. But people are just acting strangely. Very strangely.
And you say this is like a orange mist or glow that is taking the air?
Yeah, it's more red than orange, and it's not even a mist. It's not even some sort of moisture in the air. It's haze almost.
Bricius goes to the cemetery.
Okay, cool. You go to the cemetery. Okay, fantastic. Now, as you go there, All of you give me spot hidden rolls.
You
Can I
got it.
change mine real quick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the hospital.
Okay. Cool.
Seems smarter.
All right. Cool.
Daniel rolled a 2740 success.
52-55 success.
And of course, failure. 23-25.
And I shall go ahead with the famous Hudson fail emote. Failure.
See, now even Elliot's upset.
Aw.
Aw. Okay. Fantastic. So, wait, where'd you go again, Matt? You went to the main church.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So out of the corner of your eye, you see it. It's there. But you turn and look, and it's not. Maerwynn makes her way into the hospital, a holy place of healing where monks, well versed in herbs and things, not unlike Delwyn, take care of the patients that come here, people of God. You see, a monk coming towards you, something in their hands. You look towards them to greet them. They're not there. Bricius, in the graveyard, you see a monk there, kind of just wandering around, making circles and lines through the headstones here. Then he makes his way towards you. But then behind you, as he begins to follow you around as you step slowly through this place. But he keeps about a 10-foot distance, but just keeps following your steps.
Are we on me?
Yeah. If you want us to be.
Yeah. No. I didn't know if we were gonna go back to Matt. Okay. I would like to make a natural world roll, just to see if there's anything unnatural that has taken place in the cemetery or something looks off.
Oh, okay. You can give me a natural world roll. That'll give you more physical things about the place. If you're looking for something supernatural, that would be like an occult roll. Or you could even give us a religion roll, since we are on like some holy ground here.
Not really supernatural, more like if the ground has been disturbed.
Okay.
Like graves have been dug up, if somebody's dug up a ditch or something,
Okay. Yeah.
Just like
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. 97 versus 50. Failure. But I'm going to say that for the rest of my life. If you're looking, I'm not even, I'll go ahead and give you this. There is no graves that have been dug up. As you're looking around, you go and inspect each grave for any sort of things that are off. You don't see anything off. All the ground is intact. Everything is in order. But this isn't something with the grave. That monk that was, behind you earlier, he's still behind you. But he still trails behind you. So you go look at one grave, move on to the next, look at that one. He looks at that grave you just looked at, looks it over, moves to the next one you just went to, looks it over, and does everything that you do.
Well, I'd like to note Yuraku has not been forgotten about. He is still circling overhead. Just putting that out there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, great.
Would I be able to look for the downward-facing eclipse moon symbol?
Okay, yeah. So you're in the church and you're looking for this, right? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So give me a spot hidden.
You got it.
That's very specific. Okay.
Hard failure.
Okay, so you don't see a downward facing, moon there. Which if if you're just joining us, that is some symbol that they've come across in previous episodes that has some sort of relation to the serpent people, to Yig, possibly. That's what that is. But Daniel doesn't see that. He's in this church, these big walls that just extend, up and up and up, that come to a point at the very top of the ceiling there. It's a grand place. It's very well kept, very clean. Besides the smoke, it's a very clean smelling place, or it normally would be here. It's very proper. Everything is done with purpose, and it's a very holy place, and you feel this being inside of it. But what you see is this man sitting there. He has the robes of the monks there. He has the cut. He's staring at the wall, kind of on the right side of the chapel there. This dark red liquid has been painted on the wall. It says, Relinquo totus spes.
Does anybody speak Latin?
Does anybody? Don't Google it. Does
I
any of
can't-
your characters speak Latin?
I can't.
No,
even,
we can't
I
read.
was gonna say I can't even read. So
Yeah.
This side won't stop me because I can't read. What did you say it said? I want to put it in my notes at least.
Okay, yeah, go. You can do that. Relinquo totus spes.
Oh, great.
You said
I know two of
totus?
those words.
Totus.
Totus, okay.
I know enough Latin from freaking Harry Potter spells to know a little bit.
Okay, so Daniel would like to go up to this monk that is staring at it, and very quietly, almost as if he's in his head, ask, "What does this mean?"
The monk sits there. He has a goatee. He has a nice little goatee there. But otherwise, he looks like the rest of the people there. Big cross hanging from his neck there. His robe cinched at the waist.
As expected.
He's not looking at you. He's looking at the wall.
Mm-hmm. Then I'd like to take a. I'm just gonna rip part of his robe off and take that cloth and smear the words over the on the wall.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're able to rip off part of his robes, and he does not move, even as you kind of jerk the cloth there. He stands still. He lets you do it. You smear those words. You can, through the cloth, you can still feel the warmness of that blood. You're not sure if it came from him or who it came from, but it's still warm. As you clean that off, you look back at him.
Hi. Right then. Onward.
We're going to go back to Maerwynn. So you're in this place. You just saw someone coming towards you. You looked at them. They're not there. Strange. You see another monk walking past, preparing to leave through the door that you just came in. Do you do anything? They're just kind of walking. They look at you and then kind of look back towards the door as they're walking out pretty quickly.
And was that with me?
That's a Maerwynn.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I don't know what to do. So they're not there? Like,
this is you do see this one. You look at him.
Okay.
He's
Okay,
there.
this-
Yeah.
okay. Does he seem normal? Does he seem like he's gonna...
I don't know. He's walking in front of you. You see him
Okay.
look at you, then look towards the door, and he's leaving.
Okay. I'm gonna follow him and say, excuse me, what exactly happened here? We came to help with the fighting, and it's very odd, and we just need to know what's going on.
He spins around. What's going on? Well, this is the monastery. This is a place of the Lord. This is a holy place. This is a place where we worship. How may I help you, sister?
Is there still like a red haze outside?
It's everywhere. Everywhere.
Okay, cool. I'm making sure I'm not like losing my mind. Okay. So do you not notice everything that's been going on? Have you just missed that somehow?
He looks around. Huh. Well, I guess there are some strange things happening here. But the best thing that we can do, and as he says that, you just see like blood like fills his throat into his mouth and just begins to like kind of come out, dripping down. You see this blood there. A few specks of it even get on your face since you're this close to him.
Okay.
Blood begins to drip out through his nose and then through the tear ducts in his eyes. He starts bleeding from every, orifice in his face.
I'm having flashbacks to this one episode of Skins. Okay.
Yo, I love that show.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So Maerwynn's just gonna back up and just kind of like, she doesn't know what to do with this. Like, she's kind of freaking out a little bit. So she's just gonna kind of back up and just kind of try to get away from this.
Yeah, you're getting away, but it just gets worse and worse. He's bleeding. It starts coming from his ears, but at this point in time, his eyes roll up and back into his head as his body starts convulsing. Eventually, he loses his grounding and falls to the ground and just convulses and convulses, still bleeding profusely, until he stops. Give me a sanity roll, Maerwynn.
Oh shit!
Would you like me to roll for you?
Yes, please. Yeah, 79 versus 59.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Hey.
Sad. Let me find my dice. I put them in my hat, and now that it's fallen everywhere. Okay. I like physical rolls. You lose 3 sanity, Maerwynn. As you see this, forget the haze. This is unnatural. This is crazy. This is nuts. All right. We're gonna go back to Bricius. Basically, you left the graveyard here. You didn't see any things out of the ordinary, but that guy is still following you.
Mm-hmm. Bricius turns around and tries to get close to the guy.
Okay. And as you turn around and you kind of, close the distance between you two, you see him spin around and try to close the distance between him and some unseen figure.
And
the thing, and to give you a better idea of this guy, he's very young.
Yeah.
He might even be like a preteen almost, but he's tall for his age. But spins around and does what I just described.
His back is to me.
Yeah.
I need to see like his eyes or his neck area to see if there's any bite marks on his neck or if his eyes are dilated or just if he's not there.
Okay, yeah. So as you spin him around, you're able to see directly into his eyes. You're able to see his neck area. His hair kind of falls down into his face there. He has a different kind of cut. It's not the standard of everybody else there, but it's kind of bushy and falls into his face. His eyes, they're not completely dead. it's not like there's nothing behind them. And he looks at you, and you're able to see his neck and everything. No sort of cuts or anything. No sort of damages. But as you look at him, you do see that this is a very, very young guy, a kid, even by your standards.
Um. Where is the monk? What's his name? Hidalgo or Pathier?
Hidalgo.
Great movie.
Sure.
Shout out
You're
to the
looking
movie.
for Hosier.
Come here.
You left him.
That'll-
You left him. I'm sure you could find him, if you went back to the main monastery. Because he did seem to have sense when you rolled up with him. So I'm sure he's
Yes.
not, he's not engaging in relations with a Viking or burning something.
Actually, I'd like to go to the. No, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go to Hathier.
Okay. Yeah. So as you go to him, this young man still follows you.
That's fine.
Kind of like, mocking not mocking, but copying the way that you, kind of storm off towards wherever Hother is. You look around the entire monastery for him. You do find him. And he looks at you. Oh, Bricius, this is insane. What is going on here?
I know, but listen, I'm about to say something even more insane, but I need you to understand. Listen, where in this monastery is there a mirror?
A mirror?
Yes.
Well, there's several mirrors around. You can go to any of the private quarters. I'm sure there's a mirror in the chapter house.
Take me to the biggest one you have.
Okay, yes. If you don't mind me asking, what exactly is...
There is no time.
Okay, yes. Well, follow me. He takes you to, a pretty big mirror.
Is this guy still following me?
Yeah, the guy's still following you. This kid is still following you. He takes you to a mirror. You're actually in the chapter house here.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're in there, and there's this very big mirror, and he's like, okay, this is the mirror. Please do what you must. And he just looks back up at it.
I position myself facing the mirror, but also, hopefully, I position myself to where I'm able to see the guy who's been following me. He should be also looking at the mirror.
Okay. Yeah. So you look into the mirror, the red haze still covering everything behind you, and in front of you, everywhere. The guy's still there. The kid's still there. You still see his bush of blondish hair there, looking into the mirror at you. He actually even kind of comes in front of you and tries to stand between you and the mirror, looking at it even closer. And Hothier is just very confused, and he's looking at the little guy, looking at you, just back and forth there.
Can I see anything else?
In the mirror?
Can I look at the mirror to look at him, and am I able to see anything else? There we go.
Okay, give me a spot hidden.
Yeah. Come on, baby, come on.
Okay.
Failure.
You're looking in the mirror. You don't see anything right off. There might be something in the corner of your eye, but no, you don't quite get it. But Hothier looks even closer as he looks at this guy in front of you, looks at you, looks into the mirror himself to see if can discern anything. Bricius, what are you doing?
I believe the people of this monastery and the Viking raiders are under a very powerful spell.
What kind of spell?
A spell of dark magic. I've only heard stories, but I believe it is given out by a specific monster.
A monster. What?
The specific monster, I believe, is a vampire.
Why, that's so unholy. These vampires are just legends, Bricius. Works of the devil himself, I believe. Well, just looking around, I guess I can't quite rule that out, can I? It's almost as if these people are changed. I don't know what's gotten into them. It's almost like, and then you just see this guy like kind of like snap and just like twist and contort, and then he just says, "Hygrid will get what's coming to him. That's why he was banished. He's an unholy man, and I will wring him by his throat." And then he snaps back in. But that is nonsense. We're gonna cut back to Daniel. Daniel, what's up?
Yes. All right. So Daniel is still in this main, very magnificent church, and just smeared that Latin phrase on the wall, and got no reaction from this dazed and confused monk. So we are going to work our way into the building towards the sacristy on the far back left of this large church.
Okay, cool. Cool. So as you go in there, again, it's very quiet. This place is pretty much untouched. There's no really activity in here. So you kind of pass through this place. You're going back through this hallway that lines the area outside of the chapter house, the audience room. Over into the kitchen. You see another monk. Well, first you hear him. You hear him before you even come to him, before you even come to the kitchen. But you just hear, "I am the best trader in the world. Listen, I can sell anything. I can get anything. I can trade anything. No one is better than me." And as you kind of round the corners, you look in and you see this guy, this monk. He is standing on top of these casks. He has kind of like a olive tinted skin, dark hair, dark features on his face. Standing up here and just shouting these things. He's on these barrels. And if you want to give me a spot hidden roll, you can.
Yeah. I just like the way it sounds. That is a 89 versus 40 failure.
Okay, cool. No problem.
If nothing else is noticed, Daniel, seeing this man claim to be the best trader, asks, "May I see your wares, good sir?"
Yes. You may see my wares. And he points down, but another monk kind of circles around. He's a very big guy, huge guy, about your size, I'd say. He even has like a barrel on his shoulder there. All right. If you want to make a deal with him, you got to make a deal with me, all right? But listen, I'll give you a good price. You seem like a pretty strong guy, right? And he walks up to you, and he says, "Now, what can I get you?"
Oh. Daniel didn't think he'd get this far. "Well, what are you offering, good sir?"
"Well, we have the finest wine in all the land, brought here by this guy." And the guy up top says, "This guy." And he says, "Yes, the finest wine from all around. Whole cask of the stuff."
Ah. Do you might have a... Well, you see, I'm a traveling man, sir. Do you happen to have any smaller container, maybe a bottle?
We can get you one if you want to pay. But this is the finest stuff, okay? So will cost you a pretty penny.
Really, what are you looking for, good sir?
What do you have to offer?
Excuse me, as Daniel looks through his inventory.
Well, you do have money. I mean, I gotta assume you do have money.
Oh, right. I got cash money. Possessions. Apparently not.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd have this written down. Well, but that's okay. So he
Yeah,
says,
there's
"Listen,
nothing in.
listen,
It may have
listen,
not been written down.
listen here. Listen, I'll cut you a deal. You can have a small bottle of the good stuff, right?
Just a sample, of course.
Which one would you like?" And he kind of gestures to all of the casks there, including the one that the guy's standing on.
Dealer's choice.
All right. And within, a couple of moments there, he's able to give you a small bottle of this dark red wine-ish looking liquid.
Thank you, sir. Now I have a couple friends around here. If you'd like to stay put, I can maybe make you a few sales.
All right, yep, go ahead, do it. Go ahead and do it. All right.
Of course.
Yes.
And noting where he is, that was the kitchen?
Yes. He is in the kitchen.
I'm going to go ahead and search for either Maerwynn or Bricius and tell them that we have someone dealing wine in a monastery, which isn't exactly normal.
All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you, Bricius, and Maerwynn all meet up right here, right outside of that well.
Maerwynn is like running, screaming, like, "Oh my god!"
Also,
like from the hospital.
Wait a minute. Also, is there any way Daniel can check to see if this is a similar liquid to what was on the wall?
Listen, yeah. So I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna let you have a roll for this one. This seems to be like wine. What was on the wall looked like blood.
Got it.
I mean, they're probably the same thing, though.
Okay, so we're all back together.
And as you kind of come together, you pass more monks, more Vikings. There are a couple monks in the the northeastern corner of this near the well, just shoving their faces with food, just taking it all in.
When we entered, we saw men toasting with what could only be wine, and I had just encountered a man selling this stuff, almost giving it away for free, and presenting the bottle. So I'm not exactly a man to jump on superstition, so I think it might have something to do with this liquid.
I mean, in the hospital, there was someone who had globs of blood just pouring from his mouth and his eyes and his ears and everything else, but I mean, that kind of would make sense, I suppose. We did hear that it was like they had been poisoned, some keeling over like they'd been poisoned.
Shall we question the merchant who dealt this wine?
This merchant, what did he look like?
Oh, the
I would think
merchant?
that too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was asking Matt.
Oh,
Yeah, Matt, what did he look like?
Yeah, what did he look
You.
like?
yay high, hair on the top of his head.
Yeah, so there were two. There was the guy on top of the thing, and there was the guy that sold it to you. The guy that sold it to you, he has like a big beard, the monk cut, very tall, kind of like a big pot belly, but also the uniform robes of everyone else. The guy on top was kind of like a darker skinned guy, black hair, robes as well. and very, very wiry in his frame.
Mm. You said olive skin earlier.
Yeah.
Would this be more Italian? Would you say?
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
Mm.
Mediterranean for sure.
I would like to pick up the cup. Daniel, did you bring the cup with you?
I brought a bottle.
I would like to sniff it to see if I can smell the origin, see if it is a Mediterranean wine.
Of course.
Okay.
Is it a natural world?
That'd be a hard natural world roll.
Ooh.
Okay.
Bricius skipped the wine tasting.
Okay, yeah. You smell it. You smell the grapes. You just smell the alcohol there. You don't know where it's from. It's wine. You just don't know where it's from.
Okay.
I will say, Bricius.
Also, before you get started, Matt, as soon as you smell that, there's like a moment of the gears turning in your head of like, where is this from? Where is this from? Before that can happen, and the kid comes from behind you, sticks his nose right in there as well, stares off, and it's like puts both hands on it and just starts snorting so hard that even some liquid goes in his nose, and he starts coughing as the wine enters his lungs as he tries to regain his breath.
Who's your friend, Bricius?
Don't ask. He's been following me everywhere.
You all right, dear? What's going on? I want to go over to the kid.
Okay. Yeah, so he just kind of stands right next to Bricius, almost, copying the stance that he has. Nothing's wrong.
I didn't say anything was wrong. I was just asking if you were all right.
Nothing's wrong. I'm great. I'm the best.
You're the best. What are you the best at?
I am the best wine sniffer there ever was.
I'm sure you are. All right.
Boy, do you know where the origin of this wine comes from?
Yeah, it comes from it comes from England. Britannia, whatever, the equivalent. He just says something, and you do get that he's just trying to one up you. That's what he's been doing this whole time. That's what you get from him.
Daniel, take us to this merchant.
Now, that would... Oh, sorry. Daniel had hair in his face and knocked his microphone over. There were two of them. Now, I'm not entirely certain on how willing he'll give up this information. We can either ask politely or maybe get the jump on him.
Let's try asking first.
Aye, Bricius?
Let's go.
All right.
Okay, yes.
And,
before you can even get to the kitchen, you see this guy heading towards the cellar. Like, you see this guy kind of moving out of that way. But Daniel recognizes him. He kind of, stops him, so you all can, talk to him. It's the same guy that was on top. And he kind of comes around. Oh, I am the best merchant in the world.
Wait. You're the best merchant in the world.
Yes.
You're the best wine sniffer in the world. It's just a...
Thank you, Maerwynn.
Huh?
Oh, no, go ahead.
I don't know. I just find the phrasing odd.
Now, is this the big guy or is this the wiry guy?
This is the wiry guy that was on top.
Okay.
Would you like some wine? Oh, yes, I can give you the best wine, the sweetest stuff. Yes, some of your friend got some of it from us earlier. Would you like some?
What? Tell me about this wine. What makes it the best? What makes it the sweetest?
Come. And he leads you back into the kitchen, back to where this was lined up. And he says, "This is the finest stuff in the world. I got it from far away, and it is of impeccable quality." Maerwynn and Bricius, spot hidden rolls.
Oh, hallelujah. It's a 34 versus 55.
Hudson, what was that?
Failure. 77 versus 25.
I must reveal to you that one of the barrels
Whoops.
has strange symbols carved in
Oh
it.
no.
The symbols are faded and hard to read. But does any one of you speak Greek?
I speak Arabic.
Can't read.
I can't read.
You
I'm
want up a
Daniel.
bear when I'm 20 and I've never learned.
36.
Wait. So what is carved? You said in a bear?
Yeah, it's carved in the barrel. One of the barrels has
Oh,
these strange symbols carved into it.
Okay.
Carved into a bear midsummer
I
style.
know. I was like, what?
By symbols, I mean it's Greek. And
Yeah.
I know you can't read, so that's why it's strange.
Yeah.
And he says, yes. So this is a sweet one right here. I can get some for you, and it'd be very delicious.
Maerwynn, do you have pen and paper?
I do not. I cannot write.
Right. None of us can write.
None of us can write or read or anything. We are in the year 1000.
And he sees you, kind of making this discussion. He's like, what are you all talking about? Don't you want some wine? What are you talking about? Paper, writing. This is not the time for writing. It's the time for drinking. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing's wrong. We're just having a bit of a discussion right now. Tell
would like
me,
to know
you
more.
must.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We would like to know more about these symbols you have on this barrel here.
Symbols.
Aye.
Oh, yes. Greek. Yes.
And it says,
Okay, for this, I'll ask either of you to give me a charm, intimidate, or persuade roll to see if you can get him to...
I'll give a persuade. Oh,
34 versus 35 intimidate
mind.
success.
And how do you intimidate him?
I'd like to just step closer and be looking almost down at him. Very clearly, almost ready to pummel him into the ground.
Yes. Oh, yes. And he looks up at you, sees the mutton chops on Daniel, sees the large frame, and sees the tightening eye. Yes, on my travels, I found this in a Byzantine monastery. I was journeying abroad. But this here it reads. And he reads it. I am called Theth. I make men consumptive and cause hemorrhagia. And as he reads that, you just hear the commotion of Hothir coming into the room, slamming its head suddenly against the wall there, and just screaming, "That bastard Haggard will pay!" And then just like throwing himself onto the ground, into the hard ground, and just laying there, knocking himself unconscious from the outburst. And from that, we're just going to call it to a close for tonight.
Ah.
my skins reference is pretty on the nose then, wasn't it?
I love skins. Wonderful.
Jesus. Hemorrhagia? Yeah, okay, yep.
I love that character as well.
Rip Chris.
I love Chris. Chris is my favorite character. Always my favorite character in Skins just dies. So it was him, and then in series 2 it was Luke Pasqualino's character. I forget his name.
I never watched
Hudson,
Yeah. Why are we talking about this?
We were
Hudson,
talking about this. Sorry. We're
Were you
still.
having Bricius, were you having a similar thought of how to handle the situation?
I don't know.
Oh my
I
god!
think we might be.
Don't. If y'all say
We'll
burn
talk
down the
about it next
monastery,
time.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, I did think about that. Yes.
Of course, of course. Anyway, for next time.
If you watching at home haven't figured it out, every spot hidden episode or arc will end with them burning something down.
no, because I'm here, so it'll actually, hopefully,
I know. If
Stay on
you
track.
notice, when Carly is here, we actually get work done. If it's just
Yeah.
me and Matt,
yeah. I can never leave you guys again.
The haunting was the first Call of Cthulhu thing that I ever did, and Carly and a couple of others, they went down there to the basement and just fought this zombie basically, and it was fantastic. But I wish I could have presented that to you all. So maybe we can play that again sometime, just us, and get there so I can show you how what that is. But yeah, I have a blast playing with you three all the time, and I'm so appreciative of you, and it just makes my entire day playing with you all and leading you through these games. So thank you, seriously.
Love to be here.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Thank you for having us.
Awesome. So as we draw to a close, we're gonna pick up with this story. Next week we're gonna get to the bottom of what's going on here at this monastery. What mythos influences are here? What is going on? But for now, we want to leave you all, with good night, with see you later. And also, as we go out, we just want to give a shout out to our sponsors,
Yes.
Chaosium. Please go out and purchase Cthulhu Dark Ages. You can play this adventure. You can play in the wonderful Burr of Totburh. You can have all these wonderful Anglo-Saxon adventures. Also to our sponsor, Tabletop Games. You can play with me and with some other great actors and authors as they lead you through all these great role-playing games, and use the code SPOTHIDDEN because that will get you $10 off of your game. So please do that. I'm running games on December 6th and 20th. If you want to play with me, it'll be a great time. Can't wait to see you. And also shout out again to Mayday Roleplay for just being the best, just doing the thing, and just taking on the mythos head on. So
Yeah.
All right.
awesome. Anybody have any closing statements?
No.
Check out Chaosium if you're new to this. Check out their starter set. Highly recommend it.
And
Yes.
also here on Twitch, subscribe. You get some of these cool emotes. Get these
Yeah,
great
yeah.
subscriber.
There's one of me
benefits.
eventually.
There is, yeah. You'll get the Carly emote, which is. Can you make the face, Carly, of what your emote is?
no.
Please.
No, it is impossible. It is just absolute shock at whatever these two idiots are doing.
It's anime, basically.
Anime
Oh, Lord.
Corley.
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna bid you adieu. Fare thee well, and stay spoopy, y'all.